What's up guys, welcome back to another music theory lesson. Today we are talking about diatonic triads. Now, the word diatonic simply refers to within a specific key. So if I say we are in the key of C, there's going to be no surprises, no sharps or flats. We're going to stay completely within our key of C. So diatonic within the key. There's not going to be anything outside. So diatonic triads is simply referring to the triads within our key. So here we are, here's our C major scale, we're in the key of C, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a triad off of every single scale degree. So in the last lesson we covered how to build triads by simply stacking thirds off of the root. So I'm taking every scale degree here, considering it to be a new root, and I'm going to stack 2/3 on top of it to make triads off of every single one. Now, the reason that these are our diatonic triads is because we constructed each triad using notes from the major scale of the key that we're in. So now if we go through here and we analyze every single chord, we'll actually find something interesting. So here we have C, E, G. This is our C major triad. D, F, A is going to be D minor. E, G, B is going to be E minor. F, A, C is going to be F major. G, B, D is going to be a G major. A, C, E is A minor. And B, D, F equals B diminished. Okay, now that we have all of our diatonic triads laid out, I want to go back and analyze these numerically. So if we look at here all these blue notes, which are the roots of all of our chords, right? If we just look at those blue notes, we just have our C major scale, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C would be the octave. So if I think of these numerically, right, C is my root, so this would be scale degree 1, D is scale degree 2, E is scale degree 3, right? We can just go through and kind of assign a numerical value to every single chord here. So a lot of times you hear someone say, hey, let's play a 1-4-5 in the key of C, or let's play a 2-5-1 in the key of F, right? What are they really talking about? Well, all they're talking about is thinking diatonically from whatever key we're in. They're thinking of all the different scale degrees and building chords off of those specific scale degrees. So if I said a 1-4-5, I would be thinking C, F to G, right? Now, the way these are expressed in music theory, we're not going to use actual physical numbers. We're going to use Roman numerals. And the reason we're going to use Roman numerals is because they're going to be able to tell us a lot more information about the quality of each chord. So, for example, our one chord, all major chords are going to be written with uppercase Roman numerals. So my one chord would look like this, right? Now for 2 and 3, which are both minor triads, right, I will have lowercase Roman numerals. Okay, major again, we said 4 is going to be uppercase, it's a major chord. 5 is a major chord, uppercase. 6 is minor. 7 is diminished, which is also lowercase with our little diminished symbol. So here is how we represent all of our diatonic triads. Now the convenient thing about this is if someone says, let's do a 2-5-1 in the key of F, right off the bat, I remember, okay, 2 is minor, 4 is major, and 1 is major. So I know it's going to be a minor chord to a major chord to a major chord. So it's really convenient because you can use these across all keys. It doesn't matter what key you're in, as long as you're using diatonic harmony, these Roman numerals will help you out tremendously. Okay, so now that we've constructed all of our diatonic triads, I wanted to take a look at the function of all of these triads. How do we use them in songwriting, in building chord progressions, right? How do we apply these in real life scenarios? So there's going to be 3 main areas that each chord can fall into. So we have our tonic area, our subdominant area, and our dominant area. Now tonic is going to be our stable sound. This is going to be the sound of coming home. You can start and end your songs on these chords, very stable. Subdominant is going to give us the indication of some movement. We're going somewhere, the song is progressing. Maybe we're going into a pre-chorus or something. It's going to create a little bit of tension just to say to the listener, hey, we're starting to move somewhere new. Now dominant is our big grand finale kind of chord. It's going to be the least stable, creating a lot of tension, and hopefully it will resolve us back to our stable area. So if you look at our tonic chords, we're going to have our 1 chord, our 3 chord, and our 6 chord. Okay, subdominant, which is going to create a little movement for us, is going to be our 2 chord and our 4 chord. Now dominant, the most tense we can have in our major key, is going to be our 5 chord and our 7 diminished chord. So it's really important that you guys understand how these chords sound so that way you can better use them in a songwriting context. So just for example, let's look at what these would be in the key of C, right? The Roman numerals are convenient because we could talk in any key and we would still have the same kind of knowledge of where we're at. So if we were in the key of C, my 1 chord obviously is C, right? 3 is going to be E minor, 6 is going to be A minor, 2 is our D minor chord, 4 is our F, leaving us with our least stable dominant area, which is going to be 5 chord G, and 7 diminished, which is going to be B diminished. Now, let's go through these and kind of just see what we're talking about. So let me just play, C to E minor. So here's our C major, right? So I'm going to play 1 to 3 chord. Now, the cool thing about this progression, here's C to E minor, right? Now, the convenient thing about knowing, oh, this is my stable area, my tonic chords that I'm playing, is nothing's really moving here, right? Everything is staying calm. The song kind of end anywhere I want. I could end right on that C. I could even end on that E minor and it wouldn't feel unresolved or it wouldn't feel funny, right? Now, if I were to move up to D minor right now, here we go. Right now the song is telling me let's go somewhere else. This chord is saying we're moving somewhere. I want to hear D, here we go. Right, I want to keep going up or I want to move down. Right, it's telling us movement is happening, we're going somewhere. Put the car in drive, here we go, right? So, our tonic area, our car is in neutral, subdominant, our car is in drive, and now if we go to a dominant chord, we're hitting the goddamn gas. So let's hit a G here. I'll go C, D minor to G, okay? So let's see what that sounds like. So C to D minor to G. So we're going tonic, subdominant, dominant. So each chord should get progressively more tense, right? So here we go. C, we're fine, we're still in here, we're chilling all day. Now D minor is gonna give us some movement. Ooh, where are we going, right? Now G7. You really wanna hear that resolution. You wanna hear, right? It's almost like staying on the G would be kind of like playing the major scale and ending, right? Very unresolved. You really want to hear that last sound, so that G7 gives us that tense moment, right? And bringing it back to our tonic kind of lands very nicely. So let's just pretend we're writing a song and I say, okay, I want my verse to be really relaxing and calm. So let me take, 2 tonic chords. So I'll have my verse be, C to E minor, okay? And then I'll say my pre-chorus, let's abbreviate this with PC for pre-chorus. Pre-chorus, I'll do a less stable chord, maybe we'll do D minor, and I'll go back to a stable kind of pitter-patter between those two. And then I'll go to a dominant chord right before the chorus. That should be E minor. So I put a dominant chord in here, G, to give me a lot of tension leading me into my chorus, which we'll abbreviate with a C for chorus, and then we'll go bass to our home base of C. Okay, so let's play through our little song right here. I'll start on the verse, go to the pre-chorus, and then we're gonna end on the chorus, and I'll call out all the sections so you can kind of hear what we're going through. So let's start on the verse on C. E minor. Now let's move up to D minor, coming up to our pre-chorus, subdominant. Moving to dominant of the G. Back to C, right? So now we kind of have just written a song without even playing the guitar, looking at a piano or anything. I just said, let me just look at my triad areas, tonic, subdominant, and dominant, and I can try to create a chord progression simply using my knowledge of diatonic harmony, right? Stable, less stable, and least stable. You can construct whole songs without even having to actually play the chords. So it's super important that you guys try to memorize, all of your diatonic chords that we just went over. You want to memorize your tonic, your subdominant, and your dominant areas. Memorize the chart. You can obviously reference the PDFs along with this. But most importantly, I want you to really ingrain these sounds into your head. So if someone says a 1, 4, 5 progression, you can kind of already hear what it would sound like. So you can kind of start constructing, the sound of the progression in your head ahead of time, which is going to help you a lot with composition and songwriting and improvising even. So don't forget to do your ear training. Thank you so much for joining. Again, I love music theory. I know you do too. And have an awesome day.